Snakes? Why did it have to be snakes? Patch 12.1 is finally on the PTR, and if you're a mount collector, you're either going to love this or need a therapist. We've got undead wind serpents, more mana worms, and a horse with a hat? Hello everyone, Andrikats here, and today we are diving into every new mount coming with patch 12.1. It's only been a few days since the new patch was announced, and while we don't have an official release date yet, looking at the roadmap, it seems like we're likely a couple of months out. So yeah, we could see it in August, or at least before BlizzCon. So let's go ahead and see what's in store for the mount collectors. First up, a new patch means a new season, and that brings plenty of mounts, even more nowadays, since seasons revolve around plenty of solo and group content. The new reward for the Keystone Master is the Breath of Blight. It's a flying wind serpent, but I'd describe it more as an undead skeleton flying snake. It looks pretty cool, and if you're pushing for Keystone Legend, that's the 3k rating mark, you'll get the red version, the Breath of Ruin. Now a quick heads up, and probably I should have mentioned that in the start of this video. Anyway, if you are afraid of snakes, you might want to look away or just skip this patch entirely because they are everywhere, like everywhere. Unless Blizzard finds a way to turn them into something more cute before the patch drops, you're going to be seeing a lot of scales. Case in point, the new dungeon, Altar of Fangs. I won't be spoiling here the final boss, because that will mean big, fat spoilers, but defeating them gives you a chance at the Writhing Brood, a three-headed twisted snake. And yeah, it's definitely not looking very pretty. If you actually do like that look, good news, there is more where that came from. The Venomous Coiler is the green version, and it looks to be the reward for the meta achievement for the vaults of Logitech. This is the new underground zone, which is separate from the main island, the Coiled Isle. You can go from one place to another, and there is no loading screen whatsoever. Take Zarale Cover, for instance, but with one big change. You are grounded. Like, literally. It's a no-flying zone, at least for now, and you can expect plenty of public events and other fun stuff scattered around. This brings us to the third variant of these mounts, the Indigo Coil Horror. And yeah, it is quite the horror indeed. You'll get this one from the renowned Court Master as you progress with a new faction for this patch. There will be a new renowned track called Zul'Jara's Forces, and reaching 17 with them grants you this specific mount. Well, you will have to go and buy it with Voidlight Maul. It has some really interesting colors, and I actually love the mount special. It has a grey slithering animation. Once you hit level 19, you can also buy another wind serpent, the Violet Bug Skyfang. If you are looking for even more variety, there is also the Emerald Skyfang. This recolor comes from an achievement that requires you to complete patrols back in the vaults, that underground cover we just talked about. Like I said, the new zones are full of activities, which we'll probably dive into another video, but for now, what you should know is that you'll be earning a new currency called Corrosive Coins. This in return can be used to purchase a ton of things, including a brand new mount, the Caustic Venomfang, a Venom serpent with a very interesting look and an even more interesting walking animation. And yeah, a bit of a funny head. As you'd expect, it also gets recolors. I actually think this one looks even better, the Crimson Venomfang. This comes from the Inglory meta achievement for the new raid, Venomous Abyss. I gotta admit, this is definitely one of my favorite mounts in this patch. And speaking of favorites, mana worms. We're getting two more versions because Prey is getting a season 2. They'll have different torments and the hunts will continue in the new zone. That also means a new Prey Seeker's journey, and at the end of that track sits a new mount, the Preyhunter's Courser. It's a green and black variant that I absolutely love. I've been using mana worm mounts for probably the better part of this expansion, so I'm definitely not saying no to a new color. There is an armor version as well, called the Hexflame Reaver. Apparently, this one drops from a nightmare prey target named Ralkala. I haven't seen them on the PTR yet, but there are achievements tied to them, one of which requires 50 kills. I really hope we don't have to kill Ralkala 50 times just to get the mount drop, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. That that's not the only solo content returning. The elves are back for Season 2 with 2 new locations, more variants of the existing ones, and a new nemesis boss. By defeating Astorek on the 2 question mark difficulty, you learn this really cool mount, the Apophic Soul Crusher. It's a red reskin of the Arcane Defenders from Season 1, but with much less arcane and way more souls and ichor. Then there is the much easier one to obtain, the Corroder Soul Crusher. It's a green variant that only requires you to reach rank 5 on the Delver's journey. What's probably the most prestigious mount on this list is the Umbral Ashes. This is the reward for finishing Mythic Plus Season 2 in the top 1% of the player base. Definitely not an easy feat. We're actually talking about a recolor of the Ashes of Beloran, but without that weird discoloration from the original. This time you get that solid classic red, which does look a lot better in my humble opinion. Well, I wasn't being completely truthful before. The actual peak prestige mount is of course the Gladiator reward. For Season 2 we are looking at the Venomous Gladiator's Goredrake. Yep, another proto-drake, this time a green recolor of the Season 1 version. It's absolutely smashing, but let's just take 2 seconds of silence for those of us, myself included, who want it but definitely don't have the skill to actually get it. The vicious mounts for Season 2 are somewhat a bit more obtainable for the rest of us, and this time we're getting Boars. The vicious Lightbloom Boar, to be more specific. Horde gets the red and purple variant, while the Alliance gets a gold and blue version. They might not be as flashy as the Goredrake, but I think they're a great addition to the collection for those who wanna play some PvP. But if PvP isn't your thing and you'd rather face off against the god, Loa, then we have to talk about the new raid. The Venomous Abyss is the new 8-boss raid, and it's bringing a new mount from the final boss Ulatech. This is a mythic only drop, and yeah, it's another snake. Probably, we can't really tell for sure because right now it looks like this. It's called the Primeval Skyfriend. That's funny. And it's definitely a flying mount. However, we can tell if it will end up being green, red or whatever. Wowhead seems to be indicating green, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. The flying animation actually does remind me a bit of those 2-headed Ralak mounts from Draenor, and a Raycon is gonna look something like this. As for the name itself, Skyfriend has to be a typo, right? There are a bunch of Skyfiends flying around the zone, and I mean, in what world is this thing a friend? I suppose if you are a Sethrak or a Naga, it could be your pal, but for the rest of us, it will probably look pretty terrifying, especially if they forget about it and ship it out looking exactly like this. No way, right? In all seriousness though, I don't think that's a typo. I mean, look at the mount description. It clearly states that this is gonna be your friend. Doing a 180 and moving on to something less scaly, we've got the Spirit of Tok'jara. This one is apparently earned upon reaching Renown 10 with Zul'Jara's forces, and then you can go through a questline and obtain it. I always find questline mounts to be rather fun as you get a bit of wall building too. That's not all though, there are a few mounts with unknown sources or some hazing details, like the Swift Spectral Eagle. Currently the source's legacy, whatever that means. Interestingly though, I died. For science, obviously, and it turns out this mount carries your ghost around in the new zone, and the description kind of hints at that too. I mean, it's a cool little detail, but whether it's actually becoming a collectible mount or just a spirit healer companion, we don't know yet. But it looks pretty stunning. If anyone has heard more about this one, let us know in the comments. Besides this, I found another purple venom serpent datamined, the Sin-dwelling Isle Serpent. I actually didn't see this one in the journal, at least on the first build, so we don't really know how it's obtained or if it will even make it into this patch. But we aren't done just yet. To wrap things up, let's check out some new trading post mounts. There are quite a few of them, so I just want to focus on these particular ones. So yeah, the trading post is about to bring us these chameleons, iguanas, some sort of lizard. I'm really not sure, so feel free to correct me in the comments. I don't claim to be a lizard expert. Anyway, these come in 4 different colors. They aren't my favorite, to be completely honest, but after seeing so many snakes today, I guess the ceiling wasn't that high to begin with. And I digress here for a second, but we started this expansion with beautiful Blood Elf, Harenir and Amani mounts. And now we've come to snakes and lizards. Look, I don't mind it. It means everyone will find something they like. And just because I'm not personally hyped for these particular mounts doesn't mean I won't waste hours of my life to get them. I'll still enjoy every second of the grind, especially when I manage to obtain them, even if it means I'm not gonna use them as often. So to circle back to the trading post, it's bringing some truly unique stuff to the table, like this next one. It is literally titled Horse with Hat. And that is exactly what it is. It's a horse wearing a hat. I love it. The sad part though is that the journal currently says it's Alliance only. Okay, since this is the PTR, everything could change any moment, but if it is faction specific, it really makes me wonder what are the Horde players getting instead? A wolf with a beanie? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. And if I forgot any mounts, please let me know. I might even do a part 2. Obviously, I'll be releasing a proper detailed guide on how to get all of these as we get closer to the patch. But for now, this was just a preview to get us all hyped. I really hope you're looking forward to these mounts as much as I am, and yeah, let me know what you think down below. That's pretty much all. As always, thank you so much for sticking around until the very end, and make sure to drop a like if you have found this video helpful. Don't forget to subscribe for more WoW coverage and hit the bell to stay up to date. It's completely free and it really helps me out. If you are feeling extra generous, you can check out the other ways to support the channel in the description, but honestly, just being here until the very end and feeding the algorithm helps more than you think. So seriously, thank you. Good luck with whatever you're doing, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!